It's about time we checked in on the Liechtenstein national team and our World Cup 2026 qualifying campaign. We were drawn in Group D with the Netherlands and Switzerland jumping out as two tough opponents, especially as both teams at the time of the draw sat in the top 20 of the world rankings. Greece and North Macedonia would provide a good yardstick for our current progress. Perhaps some points at least from the home games against them. But at least Malta would be a team we knew we could beat, having taken 4 points off them in our Euro 2024 qualifiers. So I think our target here has got to be more than 6 points. 2 wins over Malta and anything else is a bonus. Let me know in the comments if you think we can do it. We would kick off our campaign with North Macedonia at home. And we got off to a dream start, our FC Vaduz youngsters Kraus and Burmester combining for the opener. Alas, we could not hold the lead up to half-time as Movsky headed home an equaliser. We came out all guns blazing in the second half, and just 3 minutes in, Burmester was tripped, and veteran Benjamin Buchel converted the penalty. I mean, this was exactly what we were hoping for when North Macedonia were put in our group. Could we now hold on for a famous victory? Or would the FM gods smite us down? Unfortunately, they channeled their vengeance into Movsky, who completed his hat-trick to put the visitors into the lead, and that is how it would finish. So close to a landmark victory. A short hop over the border a few days later to face our Swiss overlords, and an inevitable defeat. We were never really in the game, and I suppose we can say we did well to only concede 4. Our next match in June would be against group favourites the Netherlands at the Rijnpark Stadium. The Dutch had us under pressure right from the kickoff as the rain lashed down in Vaduz. But it was great to see our youngster Tony Block living up to his name as he stopped Gakpo. But our defence would soon be broken as the PSV men nodded the Dutch in front on 5 minutes. Our first chance came on 15 minutes with this fantastic Lorenzo Kraus effort. The pressure continued though, and Don Numa would extend the Dutch lead just before the half-hour mark. Actually, he extended it twice as our defence quite literally went AWOL. But wait, moments later, what was this? Only Lorenz Kraus scoring one of the biggest goals of his career so far. Would that be the start of an unlikely comeback? Well, no, as Gakpo restored that 3-goal cushion within 2 minutes. The second half was a quiet one until Weiser failed to live up to his name with this clumsy challenge, and Gakpo completed his hat-trick. Still, only 5-1, and I suppose, with those yellow cards and injuries, at least we let them know they were in a game. Malta were up next, a game we knew we could and should win. Now, Lorenz Kraus was suspended for this one, but our other young strikers, Ballesteros and Burmeister, combined well to go close early on. But it was this absolute netbuster from Capelli in midfield that opened the scoring. And it didn't take long for Burmeister to find the back of the net again, but unfortunately this one was called back for offside. Another goal for us felt inevitable though, and it was party time at the Takali Stadium as Solanovic added that third. Our Maltese hosts did claw a cheeky goal back before half-time, and another one from this header after a free kick hit the crossbar on the hour mark. And I was starting to worry that the party we'd started in the first half was not going to turn out to be the fun night we'd expected. Definitely not, as a player called James Brown got on up and scored an equaliser 3-3. Not to fear though, as Luque Notaro, on as a sub, popped up late on to restore our lead and save our blushes. I mean, somehow that almost thrown away win was more embarrassing than those heavy defeats to Switzerland and the Netherlands. But we finally had a win on the board, and as we went into the new domestic season, there were a couple of games that we might be able to get some more points from. Not from North Macedonia though, as they were wise to the danger we could potentially pose and shut us out in a 2-0 defeat. And our game home to Greece was close, but ultimately settled by a goalkeeping blunder midway through the first half as we lost 1-0. So yeah, it definitely looks like we're not qualifying this time. Into the October window then, and we feared the worst as we would face first Switzerland at home and then the Netherlands away. And yep, there's a long way to go before we can challenge our geographically closest rivals, especially so long as we insist on providing UEFA with blooper and slapstick content for their highlight reels. And somehow our trip to Amsterdam was even worse. Ouch, not our best international window at all. That left us with a trip to Athens and a home tie against Malta. so hopefully we could finish with a flourish. A trip to Greece was always going to be a tough task, and so it proved, as we were not humiliated, but were well beaten, with a late red card for Schlegel, capping off a disappointing night. That left Malta at home as our last chance to get some more points on the board and restore some pride. Both Kraus and Burmester were rested, allowing Ballesteros to step up and score his first 2 goals for his country. Weiser added a third to make it a much more comfortable win than the first encounter of this campaign, so 5th out of 6 it would be. We didn't surpass 6 points, so I'm not sure whether to consider that a failure, or to take it as a positive sign of progress that we actually feel disappointed at having only got 2 wins. Let me know your perspective on that in the comments. With the World Cup set to dominate the first half of 2026, we have quite a few blank dates in our 2026 calendar, so we're just going to have to wait about 9 months for the next iteration of the Nations League to come around. In the meantime, check out how FC Vaduz are getting on right here.